Happy New Year, young fellow.
To my late grandpa. What's so happy about New Year's? Everybody whipping it up, getting elastic burns on their chins. And for what? You'd think by now, 14,000 cocktail wieners into their lives, they'd have figured it out. New Year's Eve is a joke.
I'm here with my friends. Nickelodeon. The song and friends. Nickelodeon.
Beiß meinen Schaf, Blaufenlock. This is Big Orange Couch, the 90s Nickelodeon podcast where we talk about all things 90s Nickelodeon. My name's Joey.
I'm Andrew.
Hi, blowholes. It's your favorite guest, Melissa.
Welcome to episode 248.
I feel bad now that we didn't reaffirm that.
I feel bad I was laughing through your intro. Like, I don't know what you're going to say. And then you start speaking German. I started laughing.
Well, here we are. Well, we were originally going to do Wienerville Hanukkah, but our friends at Splat Attack have a great Wienerville Hanukkah episode right now that you guys should check out. But since they've got it covered, we decided to instead do New Year's Pete.
Yeah, switch gears. I feel good about it. That Splat Attack episode, the Wienerville Hanukkah, is great. They have Mark Wiener on it. I sent you a quick text saying this might be a little anticlimactic if we also do this special. We did a quick turnaround. We realized, maybe it'd be fun to do a New Year's episode, but also we haven't talked about Pete and Pete since last June, 2021.
That's so out of character for you both.
Yes. I feel it's almost like, I didn't know, but like I feel a relief now that we didn't go a full calendar year without talking about it.
Wait, it was just a few months ago, June? Or the June
No.
before? Okay.
No, our last one was with Danny Tamborelli in 2021.
Yeah. Okay. So that's longer than a full calendar year.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess so, but I meant like 2022.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You want to Pete and Pete on the books.
Sure. Yeah. And that did feel so momentous that I don't know. It just felt like okay to let that sit in the ether for a while.
Yeah, everybody listening's like, you guys could have hung it up 48 episodes ago.
Can't believe it's been a year and a half, though. I'm excited to talk Pete and Pete.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This is a Pete and Pete special, so not technically part of season 1 or 2 or 3. I believe it's the 5th special, the last special that aired before they officially kicked into season 1, and it aired January 2nd, it says, 1993.
So this was before season 1?
Yeah. This is with all the specials, like what we did on our summer vacation.
Yeah.
This is them really, I feel like, even this episode, I feel like you can feel them testing out like the tone of the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's Melissa, did you have any memories of this one?
No. And probably because, spoiler, I don't think it's that good.
Oh wow. bringing the fire.
It's not that, it's just it felt like I don't remember this being on at all, but I really would have thought that this was I guess Pete's age makes it's kind of telling when it aired, but it just seems like older, like losing steam. I don't know.
Andrew, I feel like the last 5 episode reviews we've done with our friends have you and I have drooled over them, and everybody's like, "What are you guys talking about?"
This one makes you guys drool?
Well, I'm not showing my cards.
Okay.
I'll just say that compared to last week's fair or last episode's fair, Nick Thanksgiving fest. This felt like a sort of a breath of fresh air. You know?
Yeah, that's a
Like,
that's a
this is
pretty
good.
low bar. It is, in a sense, a New Year's episode, but it's it's kind of not
Yeah.
too. I guess we can get into that. But I was wondering, like, what were some of your traditions as a kid on New Year's? Like, what did you guys have any traditions? Was it different every year? What did you guys do on New Year's when you were little?
My parents always had a big party because it's my dad's birthday.
Hmm.
So, and Andrew, you were always there, right? Weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
So you
it was
guys
nice
shared
spend all our New Year's together when we were younger.
Yeah.
at Melissa's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Also,
we kissed at midnight.
Who did?
Me and Andrew.
No, you didn't. Melissa, at least 10 people are going to listen to this. Stop it.
Our parents.
Yeah.
yeah. And of course, the Twilight Zone marathon is
Yeah.
Right.
a big thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch it at your house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not like.
Was it on? It was always
yeah,
the next
yeah.
day. We always went to our grandma's house, and Grandma always had that playing.
Sure. Yeah.
That's my memory of it.
Do you have a preference between New Year's Eve or New Year's Day?
I'm more of a New Year's Day person, I think. I find that the Twilight Zone very relaxing, and like party's over, everybody's kind of sleepy because they were up so late, and we would just kind of lounge around at Grandma's house. I loved that.
I think I maybe like New Year's Eve a little more. I feel like just because New Year's Day feels like, well, it's here. Now we're already in the next year. So we're almost back to normal.
Really?
Man, I find New Year's Eve to be so depressing, and I've never been able to kind of put my finger on it, but I always feel sad on New Year's Eve. I think it's because of this like expectation that you're supposed to be like going crazy, and I've just never. Number one, I like hate parties, and number two, like I feel like I can never live up to that, right? Like no matter what you do, it just kind of feels like and also like the sadness of the year passing, and I just like I feel like, and we live in Cleveland, it's always gloomy, always cold, it just always feels like an ugly day, and I've just come to really dislike it. So I'm gonna have to side with Melissa here, New Year's Day being kind of like all right, there's no expectation of fun, just the opposite, like sit on the couch, eat the leftovers.
Yeah.
I love that. But
did you ever do New Year's resolutions or anything? You don't seem like the kind of person that would. If it's depressing to like look back on the year.
No, yeah, definitely not. I feel like maybe there was a couple years I like told myself I would, but I don't even think I got to the point where I made one. No. What about you?
Me? No. I mean, when I was younger, it would be like, I'm going to write in my new diary I got for Christmas every day. And it would peter off by March. I wasn't writing anymore. But that's my only real memory of it.
Andrew, New Year's resolutions?
No like hard and fast ones, but maybe just like a general, perhaps trying to do better than I did last year, as a human being.
Well, that's good. That's very Little Pete, in the spirit of Little Pete.
Yeah.
As a little kid, there was like two phases. So when I was really little, my parents would send me to my grandparents' house, and I feel like for most of the years, like I didn't even make it to midnight because they'd go to bed so early.
So like they would go to a party and your grandparents would babysit?
My parents would have the party.
Oh, you couldn't even be at the party?
Well, as an adult now, I kind of appreciate this. But yes, but no, then I eventually hit an age, I want to say it was like close to middle school, where like then I started staying home. But honestly, the party, like I I always felt so inconvenienced by the party. Like, oh, this is so annoying. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I guess maybe this is like a therapy session of maybe why I hate New Year's.
Well, it's just the culmination. It's the party of parties, and
Yeah.
you don't like parties.
It's
Yeah,
impossible to like live up to its expectations.
Yeah. I don't hate. I think we've done some New Year's together where it's been like small gatherings, and I do truly enjoy those when it's like a small group of friends. But like the expectation of like, a party, where there's like maybe people you don't know, I'd rather just watch TV on the couch.
That reminds me. This is off topic, but this reminds me of my 30th birthday party when it was in my tiny apartment that I shared with Max when we first got married. And you came over for my 30th, and you just like you were on the couch, and there were people there that you didn't even know, like being totally wild, and just one of them was like running around with a knife, like pretending to be a character, and you were so ready to go home. Like, I do not want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I am both like I have the ability to be both very extroverted, but my nature is like to like pretty much crawl inside myself. You know what I mean? Like,
now I get it.
But that was a lovely party. I don't want you to think ill.
Oh no, that party was a show, if I can say that.
My main memory is that it was just very hot. It was like a lot of people.
Oh yes, that's right. And my birthday's the day after Christmas, so it's freezing outside. But
Right.
I had to have all the windows open because it was so hot in that little apartment with all those people. Yeah, it wasn't a good night.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people, but
What is your guys' relationship with jetpacks?
I love jetpacks. The Rocketeer was one of my favorite movies as a child.
Oh yes.
Big fan of jetpacks.
Man, Rocketeer was I felt like a big deal that like nobody even thinks about anymore.
I know. It was a huge deal to me. That was like my first real crush.
Wow.
I just thought he was so cute.
Andrew, jetpacks?
Yeah, I'm pro jetpack. I like it. I feel like pretty early on it entered my mind that like, how would you possibly control this thing? So that's a problem. But if they were like workable and you could do it like you think of it,
like the Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Who mastered it?
He did master it. That's why they called him the Rocketeer.
What about you, Joey?
Yeah, I think they seem dangerous. I wouldn't wear one.
You mean if you could like fly around like Pete in this episode, you wouldn't try it? Give it a shot.
Hell no. I would. I'd be all about that leaf blower.
Oh, give me a break. I mean, now maybe for me, but when I was
Oh no!
kid,
As a
no
kid,
way.
if I had a leaf blower as a kid, that'd be so fun. But
You never got
jetpacks.
to experience a leaf blower as a kid.
No, it was rakes. It was a 100% rake house.
We were
It's-
rakers.
The blower's not that much better, but like it is also a lot better.
Yeah. No. I mean, having now used a blower, I can unequivocally say blower. No, I guess I don't have any relationship really with jetpacks. I just don't want to put something on my back that could fail that high up.
Right.
But I like this as a Little Pete.
Yeah.
This idea of Little Pete being in love with this particular thing makes a whole lot of sense as far as getting to know him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's a lot of
totally.
money
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh.
for a jetpack.
An impossible amount at that age.
What is it now? Do we check with
Absolutely.
inflation what that would be now?
You want me to check it?
Yeah, I'd like
All
to
right.
know.
I know a website where you can put in the year. So this is my stray observations, but the jetpack costs $456.98. What year was that? That was 95. Or when this episode? This episode aired January 2nd, 1993. Okay. That jetpack. So in 1993, that jetpack cost $456. This year, it would cost $886.
Still, just an insurmountable amount of money.
Oh my gosh, for a 7-year-old or whatever, like just
Oh
impossible.
my gosh. Yeah.
Though, little Pete comes up with some fun strategies.
Yeah. I know we've probably mentioned this before, but Nickelodeon did such a good job of weird toys. Like they didn't quite get to jetpack level, but stuff like moon shoes. I mean, it's just weird enough. And it didn't quite pay off maybe as good as it sounds, but yeah, they did a pretty good job at that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they start GAC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like these weird, bizarre, almost like unreal toys.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, that feels like the right amount of conversation about jetpacks and.
I just want to add that I am just like a sucker in stories and shows like this, like for that like comic book looking page that you can send away for. Something so good about that.
Yeah, our friend Allie, she has the Krebstar page on Instagram, and she's like reproduced. I don't know if she reproduced this one, but she's reproduced a bunch of like kind of the Krebstar items and made it look like an ad, kind of like what you're talking about.
Yeah,
they're really
that's
cool.
neat.
Yeah. I haven't checked in a little bit, but that was at Big Door Prizes. You can order some of those from her, so kind of cool. Yeah. Andrew, do you want to talk about New Year's Pete?
Sure. Yeah, let's get into it. 11:31, New Year's Eve, Wellsville. So I like this opening.
You know what's funny is I was
Love
watching this with Max. He was in the room, and I was eating, and I looked down, while it was playing, and Max was like, "You didn't catch that? It's 11:31. You aren't listening." I thought, what's the big deal? Okay, sorry. So I rewound it and started over. So it's funny that you had to mention it too.
Wow. Good for Max.
Yeah, I think I share a lot in common here. I get very frustrated. I am one of those people that, like, if we're sitting to watch something and you're not watching it, I'll very explicitly say, like, oh, it said this.
Right.
We're in Tokyo now. It's a year later.
Well, that's
Wow.
the people that aren't paying attention. They're grateful for that.
I don't think so. Not in my experience.
So little Pete rides his bike past an old reveler as he celebrates the new year out on the tree lawn. Already, like, it's 5 seconds in, and this old guy on the lawn. Something about it's really good.
We should also note that the episode starts with the chiming notes of Everywhere by Polaris.
Oh, sure.
And it just, like, it gives the show such an unmatchable advantage over any other children's show. You know what I mean? Like, how many kids shows are willing to risk on a Sunday afternoon, beginning, like, with this sort of genuine melancholy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And leading into a New Year's episode, it like a holiday. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
But so good. So while Pete's parents party, he wonders what's so happy about the new year. He explains that last year he made his first New Year's resolution, and unlike the grown-ups' uninspired goals, he was aiming higher, to change the world.
Love it.
Oh, I had a note here already.
Yeah.
There's an image of his dad eating cocktail wieners.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember those from when I was a kid, but have either of you seen cocktail wieners at a party? since the 90s. I forgot about those tasty little treats.
It's been a while, but I love them. Yeah.
Oh, they're delicious. Maybe I'll bring those to Grandma's for New Year's this year.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I've never had one.
Wow.
They're just they're just little hot dogs.
Little teeny
Basically.
hot dogs marinated in a tasty sweet sauce.
I didn't realize there was a sauce on it. I guess that would be the cocktail.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, they're so good. Also, it doesn't happen till like the end of the episode, but as soon as they showed Don eating those cocktail wieners, like the shot of him, like the close up on his mouth sucking one in, just popped into my head.
Oh, was it at the end of the episode? My thinking or at the beginning? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. I interrupted for no reason.
It's okay. While we're talking about the party, though, it's not quite perfection, but I do like the cutaways to the parent party.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like 100% a nightmare for me. This party.
Oh, this
The handheld camera, because isn't the camera kind of handheld and it's a little chaotic?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Kind of. It matches the energy.
And
Jokingly.
For sure.
Something about this episode also like really nails to me the feeling of a party like this, maybe during this time period. Like, I mean, compared to now, it's got such an early 90s feel to it. Like before there was, I don't know. Even the party feels like sort of small-ish in a way.
No, I agree. And there's a lot of walls. Like now I feel like parties are just these open concept houses. But there it's like you're in somebody's tiny living room.
Yes.
Or the hallway, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the key to Little Pete's changing the world was an O'Reilly retro-fire jetpack.
I thought back on the whole stinking year. Everybody kept asking me how I was going to change the world with just a jetpack. I'd always say the same thing. First of all, it's not just a jetpack. It's a O'Reilly retro-fire jetpack with submersible fuel pods. Then I'd say, shut up. Who knows what I'd do? Maybe fix the hole in the ozone layer? Or drop in on Peking and talk world peace. Whatever I did, the planet would end up a better place for all of God's creatures. All I needed was $456.98.
I am, I was shocked that this wasn't a Krebstar item.
Yeah, I didn't even think of it.
I feel like I didn't notice it whenever, I had previously watched this episode, but this time I felt shook that there was even another company in this universe.
Yeah. Now I don't even remember. Maybe Krebstar's not even a thing until the first season.
I don't think so, though, because I want to say there's a Krebstar reference in what we did on our summer vacation. I could be wrong, but I thought there was.
There could be.
But maybe they hadn't embraced it as the ongoing joke it would become.
Yeah.
Right.
I might have called that O'Reilly, but it was really Riley. But it's also.
I know.
Did you see that lady who hired the original people who sang the O'Reilly jingle to sing at her wedding?
Yes.
No.
It did not sound the same.
Well, they definitely have aged, but it was pretty cool. They even had the guy who read the, informational part.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh. Is that a Cleveland thing?
No, I think they're national, right?
Oh, are they?
Well, I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to feel real stupid if they're not national. As in, people are going to be like, what are they talking about? No, their headquarters are in Missouri.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. They seem local. That's how, just the quality of their commercials is. I mean, not to say that it's bad, but it reminds me of something local. Maybe that's the feel they're going for, so you feel like they're your neighbor.
Yeah, probably. So you go to them thinking they're not a big chain store.
Yeah.
This episode brought to you by O'Reilly's.
To make the money, in order to buy it, he and Big Pete go door to door checking for landmines. This is great.
Oh yeah,
landmine thing.
Love this sequence.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's such an amazing choice because it's like a cheap thing, but it's super effective, like super cartoony almost. It's like they just nailed that, like getting the very most out of whatever they had.
Satisfaction is our guarantee.
I don't know. I'll have to ask my husband.
Is he home?
No, I'm not married. But as soon as I do meet that certain special someone, I'll be sure to ask him.
This isn't a joking matter, ma'am.
One landmine can ruin your whole day.
No, you're ruining my whole day.
Well, then you'll be interested in one of our free inspections.
No.
You throw in a complimentary rinse brush.
N-O spell. How soon can you start?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, just the practical effects of the lawns blowing up.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the dialogue between the Pete's and whoever owns the house, and it felt, I don't know, it felt almost sitcom-y for Pete and Pete, but still, within Pete and Pete.
Yeah.
Also, perfect escalation between events. Like, the first time it's the action figure, the second time it's the dog, the third time it's Ellen.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, they just know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
But all that comes to a stop when Big Pete gets distracted, saving Ellen from one of their booby traps. This was a little weird that this is Big Pete's only appearance in the entire episode.
Yeah, the whole episode. I think this is only one of two episodes that Little Pete narrates. But yeah, Big Pete is just very much, this is it for him. This is Little Pete's story.
Yeah. Well, on his way to save the world all by himself, Little Pete has a run-in with crossing guard Frank Gulcher.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love crossing guard Frank so much.
He's great, yeah. And this whole interaction is very good. It's a little strange even. Like, there's no music or anything. It's just kind of like, it gets a little meaner than Pete and Pete maybe sometimes does.
Stop.
Out of my way, grunge bag. I'm on my way to save the world.
Saving the world begins with pedestrian safety.
Blow it out your nose hole, Frank.
What was that?
Blow it out your nose hole.
Scrape me sideways, pipsqueak.
Not bad. What a way to start the year. I lost my best friend to a girl. But still, I hadn't lost hope. After all, I did have my very own personal superhero.
At 11:43, Pete's bike is still rolling. Fortunately, Little Pete still had Artie, who was completely puberty-proof, to help him on his paper route.
Yeah, I love when Little Pete says that Big Pete has been sucker punched by puberty.
Yeah.
Poetry.
Yeah.
But when Artie takes out one of the neighbors, Pete gets the superhero to sub in on his dad's bowling team. This whole paper route thing with Artie's great. The wind up and smashing the guy in the chest with the paper.
The guy from The Sopranos.
Yes, that's what I thought of. I've never even seen
what?
The Sopranos.
I believe the guy in the yard is a different guy.
Oh, really?
No.
I think
No
so.
way.
Yes, because that's what I thought at first, and I was going back and like going through the credits and stuff. I believe that's a different guy.
But
He
the
just,
guy at the bowling
looked-
alley definitely is.
Yes, the guy. Yeah.
Dad's bowling team, Cranston Spackle, needed a sub for their big match against Lam Sing's Taco Palace. I had just the guy they needed. All I had to do was bet my wad on Dad's team and let Artie do the rest.
Where is he?
He'll be here
Where does this guy live?
in a porta john.
In what?
Using his telepathic ball guidance system, Artie nearly gets a perfect game until he gets poached by a scout from the pro bowling tour.
Yeah, so I mean, I really love this sequence at the bowling alley. First off, there's just something about bowling alleys. It's like a great setting for any media. The is it a hamster or is it a mouse in the ball?
It's a hamster.
It's a hamster.
Wait,
Great.
It might be a mouse.
Either way, it's a great gag.
Yes, it is great.
Like the effects they use to show the ball like stopping and starting.
Yeah,
are really fun.
Artie's intro, just like when they
when he gets there,
when they pan over to him, and it's like his silhouette.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a few great shots. That one, little Pete standing in the street as like the bike rides away, and there's like kind of this glow from behind him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some cool shots in this thing.
Yeah. Also, this whole pro bowling tour thing just feels very appropriate for Pete and Pete. You know? Yeah,
except right that in this episode they say that he never sees Artie again.
Yes. Maybe since this was the last special, maybe they thought they may very well not get picked up for
that's true.
Series.
That's true. And that's a funny way, if you think you're going out, that's a funny way to send Artie out. It's on a bowling tour.
Yeah. Yes, he's just gone.
prayer now or whatever.
At 11:50, as Pete's bike continues to glide down the street, he thinks of Artie's profile on TV. In this weird like cutaway, it's like a commercial or like a show profiling Artie the bowler.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean,
yeah, that's funny.
Artie coming out of his porta john with his hair like stuff in. Stuck doing his paper route by himself, it's even worse than it had been thanks to the inclusion of a special 98-pound Artie supplement. And this moment where the paper flips open to that Artie article, so good. His face in that character is so great. During his delivery, he once again gets stopped by the crossing guard, and they find themselves in a sidewalk standoff, each of them refusing to budge overnight.
Again, I love this so much. Anything with I don't think there's a scene with crossing guard Frank that is not great. They're like him and little Pete are just really great together. The chemistry is unmatched.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's pretty depressing though.
Yeah.
Makes me sad.
Yeah, crossing guard Frank there's something about his character almost more than any other adult on Pete and Pete that just reeks loneliness and like sadness.
Yeah.
And this episode really drives it home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's not like bus driver Stu where there's like there's not a major screw loose. You know what I mean? Like we get his backstory here. We know why he's committed to the job. He's not totally insane.
Okay. All right.
He's
definitely. I'll say he has like a lot, like some of these adult characters have like a more like childlike quality than the average adults. For sure. But
this guy's busting out cigarettes.
Right.
He's talking to Pete like he's like a 40-year-old man.
Right. He's a workaholic.
Yeah. But that's, I mean, I guess that's what I like about some of these adults is like their ability to, like Pete's like on their level. I like that. Like the kids are on their level instead. They're not like the regular adult.
Correct. Correct. All right. So we have a standoff.
Okay. Yeah. So the next morning, Pete tricks Frank into letting him cross, but seeing how pitiful Frank looks on the sidewalk alone, Pete feels bad enough to not only listen to why Frank never leaves his post, but also to take the crossing guard over.
At that moment, as I turned to laugh in his face, I saw Frank for what he really was. A lonely guy just trying to do his job.
You know, I never told anybody about this before, kid.
Shoot.
All right. Well, it was 11 years ago. A Thursday. I looked away from the crosswalk to light a smoke, you know? No big deal, right? Wrong. A cat named Mr. Boots crossed without looking. He was wasted on catnip. He never saw the Ford Imperial coming.
Roadkill pizza?
No.
Yeah.
It's close, though.
And
Too
Frank's
close.
Frank's story's pretty good. Smoking this cigarette, telling this story of this cat, and then finally it's like, well, the cat didn't actually get killed, but it was so close that Frank could never leave the cross again.
Yeah. What was it? Mr. Boots, or
Mr. Boots, I think that was it.
yeah. Drunk on catnip,
Oh yeah, I love that line.
or wasted on catnip.
Yeah, waste.
Yeah.
Well, with the jetpack still on Pete's mind, he starts charging money to cross the road, and even chases down a line skipper. I love this line skipper thing.
Oh yeah.
Him chasing this guy through.
Cutting through the yards.
Yeah. The guy thinks he got away, and then Pete's suddenly just there, right in front of him.
Yeah.
But when Pete gets caught abandoning his post, Frank fires him. Ugh. The good news was he still made enough money to send away for the Riley jetpack.
Yes.
On the day the package arrived, though, Pete knocked the mailman over trying to get it, and he ripped open the box to find a leaf blower.
Yeah.
Beiß mein Schloff, Blasenloch.
Bite my scab. Blowhole.
But still, the
Sagen
weeks
die Chowder
crept by like slugs. Then, on December 19th, it came! After everything I'd been through, the raw power of the Riley was finally at my command. Not that I was all that excited or anything. As I shredded the box, I thought about how I'd soon be spitting in the face of evil everywhere, just like Abe Lincoln. Can you imagine what Honest Abe could have done with the Riley retro-fired jetpack? History was in my hands now that I had my trusty, fuel-injected leaf blower. No! Thinks that Riley sent me this stupid leaf blower by mistake.
I mean, that's such a... I know you like it, but that's such a perfect kid moment.
You're
this
right.
is probably the moment I remembered from this episode more than anything, is that, perfect disappointment. You think it's a jetpack? It's a boring leaf blower.
Yeah, this is my Christmas getting the Jumanji board game, opening it up and being like, what is this? This is not Jumanji.
What happened? It was something else?
Well, you've seen the movie Jumanji. It's like this beautiful wooden carved board, and it looks like every other, Mattel generic game you've ever seen. It's impossible. It doesn't make any sense. It was just like a huge letdown. That's all. Yeah.
That's a shame.
I wanted the animals to come out of the board. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah. At 11:58, having lost everything, Pete decides to celebrate New Year's with the one person he can think of who will appreciate it. Frank.
Love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Pete races his bike to try to make it to the crosswalk before the clock ticks down, and he gets there just in time to wish Frank a happy New Year.
I guess you're looking for this, huh, kid?
No, I was looking for you.
Oh, yeah? Why? You need some quick cash?
I just wanted to tell you something.
What? That I'm a blowhole, huh?
No, I just wanted to say, well, I'm sorry, and Happy New Year!
Yeah. It's Happy New Year's to you too, kid. Can I try that?
Yeah, he's got the little New Year's blower.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Something about that soul, that one blower going off.
Does it make you sad?
Partially.
Yeah. Maybe
partially sad. Like it's a bittersweet. Yeah.
Sure,
Totally.
Sure.
Frank says his resolution is to quit smoking again, just like last year. And Pete decides he'll give the whole saving the human race thing another.
Beautiful. Yeah, there's something so like nice about this, like nighttime in the middle of the road feels just uniquely weird for a children's show. I know this is well trodden territory on this podcast, but I'm not sure it could be overstated how bizarre this is. Yeah, Pete, little Pete utters the line that life is a bumpy ride to nowhere. It's like this ending, this kind of like nihilist ending. It's sweet, but it's also a kid's show saying that,
right.
just like you usually don't really get what you want.
Yeah. I mean, it's so good though in that way. I mean, I feel like that's maybe an aspect of this that has impressed itself on all of us Nickelodeon people.
Sure.
Might be part of the, it's a big part of the magic.
Absolutely.
And this is a moment where like they're alone together at the end.
Yeah, right.
I love that.
Feels nice.
Right.
And Frank riding around on Pete's bike as the camera
Yeah.
zooms out. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, something about it. And I don't know if maybe this was going to come up later, but I noticed only right at the end that Pete has what seems to like a little cape on. Maybe
A what?
a cape.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on it.
I only noticed it right at the end, but something about that seemed like a good little detail, like
That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He will save the world.
like he's trying, but it's like a mini cape too, so it's like it's it's just very good.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, should we talk about some of the stuff that went into it?
Yeah.
Hi, this is bios, trivia, ratings, and stray observations.
Well, of course, Debbie Harry's probably the big guest star that everybody knows from this episode, from Blondie, most notably, I guess. But some of the other people that were in this, Butkins, I think, is played by Alberto Alejandrino. His first credit was in Michael Jackson's Bad video. And he also appeared in It's Pat, the movie, and The Associate.
Heck of a resume.
Yeah. The old woman neighbor was played by Irma St. Paul. Her credits include Psychos in Love, 12 Monkeys, Trees Lounge, Thinner, Oz, Chappelle's Show, and Sopranos.
I love me some Trees Lounge.
Yeah, Trees Lounge is great. Actually, speaking of Sopranos, though, we can cut this if you want, but I do just want to mention Rolling Stone just put out like a top TV shows list or whatever.
Yeah.
And Sopranos was #1.
No.
Yeah.
Come
on.
on.
I agree.
No,
that
I
was
believe,
my reaction.
I believe you. I believe you. I just, that's just, it's not. I feel like, when it came out, I understand when it came out how people could think that.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's like 3 shows that came out this year that might like challenge it.
Yes, agreed.
I've never seen it.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is worth. I'm not trying to
that
downplay it. I like it, but it's not the best TV show ever. Yeah. What was Twilight Zone in the top 10?
No.
What?
No, I mean, I haven't gotten beyond like the first 10, but it wasn't. The top 10 was insane. But anyway,
Insane in that you don't agree with it?
Yeah. So the speaking of Sopranos, the bowling agent is played by Vincent Pastore or Pastore. I'm not sure how you say his name. besides Sopranos, he also appeared in Tales from the Dark Side, Goodfellas, Jerky Boys, Joe's Apartment, Corky Romano.
Yes.
And just tons of other stuff. I mean, he's one of those guys.
I was really waiting. I'm like, is he going to say Corky Romano?
Oh, yeah. The head, I'm giving away a stray observation here, but the head of the other bowling team, Slim, is played by Peter Laneri, and his first credit was in Maximum Overdrive, which I was pretty excited about.
Yeah.
He also appeared as the Garbage Man in Men in Black. Also Little Nicky, The Wire, and most recently Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay.
Pretty recognizable guy.
Yeah.
And the following, Mary Potts, Kirk Duncan, Daniel Hicks, Hunter Thompson, were only credited with this episode of Pete and Pete.
But this is not the Hunter. This is not the Hunter S. Thompson.
No.
Yes. Which I feel like Will McRobb has had to clarify like 30 times.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at the director of this episode. Maybe the coolest director I've ever looked at. Adam Bernstein. He directed 2 other Pete and Pete's. He directed season 2 on Golden Pete, which is one I've really been dying to get to at some point. And he directed season 3, 35 Hours, which is not one of my favorites. But yeah. But his resume is good. So he starts in music videos. In particular, he does a lot of stuff for They Might Be Giants. He does Don't Let's Start. He does They'll Need a Crane, Birdhouse in Your Soul. He does the B-52's Love Shack. He does Beastie Boys' Hey Ladies. He does Violent Femmes, American Music. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
This guy.
Okay, here's a tie-in. He directed It's Pat the movie. He directed he's directed One Strangers with Candy, 7 episodes of Upright Citizens Brigade.
Wow.
He directed on Oz. It's gonna take a while. Hold on. Ed, Rescue Me, Entourage, Law and Order, 30 Rock, Scrubs, Weeds, Parenthood, Shameless, Bored to Death, The Big C. He directed 8 episodes of Breaking Bad, House of Lies, Californication, the Fargo TV series, Masters of Sex, Bloodline, Nurse Jackie, Orange is the New Black, The Mist, the TV series, Divorce, Sneaky Pete, 4 episodes of Better Call Saul, Billions, Fosse Verdon. Wow, right?
This guy's got a very confusing credit list to me. I feel like there's a ton of amazing stuff in there, and then some like real questionable stuff. What is it? How did this guy get on all these jobs?
Yeah, I mean, he must just be like a trusted dude in the business. Like, call him in.
Yeah.
He's got like 1 episode of United States of Terror. He directed a web series I really liked called Weenie Days with David Wayne. Just all over the place. Weird. Yeah. But I mean, I do think he did a great job on this episode. As director. But any trivia?
I think we pretty much covered mine.
Okay. Stray observations.
Yeah. Did you guys catch exactly how many cocktail wieners the adults are into their lives?
No.
Was it like 4,000 or something?
14,000.
Oh. Not even close. All right.
It's my New Year's resolution.
All right, Melissa?
Oh, yes. Okay. what were the 3 New Year's resolutions of the 3 adults that gave them?
Don wants to lose 20 pounds. Joyce wants to improve her hand strength, and Frank wants to quit smoking.
That's correct.
Did you guys happen to catch the jetpack, the Riley jetpack? What city is it being sold out of?
Oh, no.
It's on the flyer.
I'm not sure.
It's being sold out of Rockville, Illinois.
Okay.
That's where they filmed the show, didn't they? Film some of it in Rockville? Or no, never mind. I'm thinking
New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey. Never mind.
I mean, as long as we're at it, did you catch the whole address?
Oh, no.
Wait.
P.O. Box 39?
29, I think.
Okay.
But close. It appeared to be Riley Jetpack, like CO, like care of.
Yes.
And then some like Asian symbols, I think.
Huh.
And then the zip code is 44567. But I looked that up, and that's actually Youngstown, Ohio.
Wow.
Huh.
It's a pretty depressing place, folks.
I don't think I've ever been to Youngstown.
No need to go.
It's nothing to see.
Okay. Melissa, do you have more?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Wow.
Did you guys catch how much the landmine service costs?
No.
Nope.
$49.99.
Okay, reasonable.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Did you catch any of the jetpack features?
Oh no.
Oh
no.
Boy. This baby's got the easy touch dual throttle control, submersible fuel pods, tubular flange mounts, gyro action stabilizer, and self-cleaning carburetors.
Wow. Sounds legit. All right. How much was little Pete charging to cross the street?
Oh, 10?
$20.
$20.
20.
That's steep, man.
What a ripoff.
Yeah.
Do you want me to use the inflation calculator?
No, it'll still be ridiculous.
Sure.
Did you get the type of bike Pete was riding?
Oh, good one. No.
A Schwinn, a Huffy.
It was a Schwinn.
Ah.
A type of Schwinn, though.
Oh, don't know.
A Stingray.
Sounds cool. What were the name of the bowling teams?
Man, I don't know.
Cranston Spackle and Lamb Sings Taco Palace.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
While we're on the bowling teams, did you catch what the name of the team was on the back of Artie's shirt?
It wasn't a Cranston Spackle?
Almost, but not
What
quite.
was it?
Spanson Crackle.
Oh,
I love those little details.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, what was the name of the bowling alley?
I don't know.
Sheesh, I don't know. I didn't pay attention enough, I guess.
It was written along the wall. Lodi Lanes.
Lodi Lanes. That actually comes up at some point. But anyway, this is just kind of an observation itself. I can't really come up with a question for it, but Mrs. Puel was the first lady who answered the door. And I wondered, is she related to mail carrier Eunice Puel?
Oh, wow.
Oh.
There you go. Now you're thinking. Yeah, I like it.
Hey, I just Googled Lodi Lanes, and it's in Lodi, New Jersey, and it's still running.
All right. Should we go?
They close at midnight tonight.
Oh, you want to go tonight? Yeah.
That
All
would
right.
be
Well,
amazing.
we can book a flight. I'm fine with that.
We're here at Lodi Lanes to celebrate Pete and Pete. You're like, what are you talking
It's a
about?
7-hour drive.
I wonder if anybody's ever brought it up to them.
Probably not.
Probably not. No. What was?
You should call on one of your episodes and pretend to be Artie.
Yeah.
Right.
What was Don's final bowling score?
Oh, wow. Jeez, I have no idea.
I'm sorry. 129.
Wow. Pretty low for Don.
No, that's pretty bad. I mean, pretty good for me, but pretty bad if you're on a bowling team.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you catch what the Pete's radiation suits are made of that make them bomb-proof?
Oh, nope.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it seemed like Big Pete was almost struggling with the line.
It was a tungsten mylar blend.
Okay.
Oh, that's it? I thought there was more to it.
Well, you bet.
The guy who signs Artie to a contract, you can see his name signed on the contract. Did you see what his name was? The guy from Sopranos?
I gotta step it up when I do these episodes.
Nah, I missed this.
It appears to be Vincent Park.
Okay. Vinny Park. Did you catch where Artie's Porta-John is located?
Lodi, New Jersey.
I mean, there's they mention a particular place.
Oh, no.
It's outside of Jiffy Lube.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
What cities does Artie hit on the bowling tour?
Oh yeah. Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and Biloxi, Mississippi.
You got it.
Did you catch the name of the paper?
No, I got the name of the article, but not the paper. Yes. Wait, is it the Herald?
Yep.
Okay. And then the article is Artie strikes it big.
Yeah.
Yep. How many ways is there to kill a man?
Oh boy, 28 maybe.
You're close. 23.
Does that include Frank's method?
Yes. Little Pete says 22, and Frank says actually there's 23.
How long did it take for the jetpack to be delivered? Or what was the estimated delivery time?
I don't know.
4 to 6 weeks.
Well, what day does it arrive?
December 19th.
You got it.
This is incredible.
Did you happen to know why Pete was practicing German?
No. What did he say? I forget why.
For his summit meeting in Dusseldorf. Presumably with his jetpack.
Weisse meinen Blockenschlaf. Do you remember what it meant?
Bite my scab?
Yes. Bite my scab blowhole.
Oh, blowhole.
Which I pulled up the English to German translation, and they're pretty close.
Nice. That must have been pretty tough back then too.
Yeah.
That's my last, except for lines.
Oh, okay. Mr. Boots, when he was wasted on catnip, never saw what car coming.
Oh my gosh.
I almost noted it, just didn't. I don't know.
That'd be a Ford Imperial.
Ford Imperial.
I did note that on the scene where he's working the crosswalk, they have so many extras. I started to try to count, and I got to 50, and I just had to stop because they went so far back that it was blurry.
I wonder if it was just everybody in the neighborhood. Whoever wanted to come out.
It had to be, and it had to be unpaid, of course.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to do some lines before we do ratings?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, there's a couple good Artie lines in this one. My first one is, "Hold on to your coffee, snorty butkins."
Yeah.
Also, "Look at the work, boy. Look at the work." As he's spinning the newspaper. Yeah. What the hell? I also wanted to just note that Ellen said at one point, "Hi, Pete and Pete."
Ah.
Like usual.
Yeah.
Oh man, one of my favorite lines. "Looking at Frank pouting on the sidewalk," Pete says, "At that moment, as I turned to laugh in his face, I saw Frank for what he really was." And finally, Pete saying, "Can you imagine what Honest Abe could have done with a Riley Retrofire jetpack?"
Yes, so good. One that I wrote down that wasn't an insult was, "One night you get all wiggly thinking about changing everything, but in the end, you're just a phoebe."
Yeah.
All right, but the insults, these are at least the ones I caught. Chew my lint, grandpa.
Is that what he says in the beginning?
Yeah.
To the grandpa on the street?
Yeah.
I rewound it 3 times trying to understand what he said.
Yeah, it's a little hard to make out.
So what is it, like, eat my belly button? Like, what is that?
I guess so.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Out of my way, grunge bag. Blowed out your nose hole, Frank.
Love it.
I love Frank going, "What did you say?" And little Pete going, "Blow it out your nose hole."
It is so good.
And then Frank responding, "Scrape me sideways, pipsqueak," and little Pete going, "Oh, not bad." Out of my way, sash boy. And let's see, and going somewhere, crankbait.
What is crankbait?
No idea what any of these mean.
They were just such masters at making these up.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Will McRobb talked about how, like, some of the stuff they wrote instead of swear words almost sounded worse, but because they didn't have swears in them, the network would approve it. Kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right, ratings. This episode has an 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Pretty high. Out of 5 Crib stars, what did you guys give New Year's Pete?
I gave it a 3.75 out of 5.
Okay.
I think it's very good. It's still a little rough around the edges, like a lot of the first early specials are, but a lot of great moments. It feels like it has everything about Pete and Pete in there, sort of, but that they just maybe didn't quite hone it down to its like perfection yet. But still a very good episode. Sort of a downer, but in a good way. Yeah, it doesn't quite make it up to those top tier episodes, but I still really enjoyed it.
Okay. Melissa?
I don't know.
No, I mean...
Well, for me, knowing that it came out before the show really started to get going, before season 1 came out, I guess I could be a little more lenient on it. But I just felt like it's out of character for Pete to want to save the world. Like, that's not... Like, isn't he more... I don't know. I just feel like he's got just a smaller world, like in his thinking. Like,
my goodness.
But do you know what I mean? Like, usually he's got a pretty bad attitude about stuff, and like saving the world and the ozone. It just didn't seem like Pete. He's usually more close to home, like worried about that sort of stuff. I don't know. From what I remember, maybe I'm wrong. And then. I don't know. One thing I love about Pete and Pete is it's so whimsical, but it's still plausible in a lot of ways. And in this episode, like, the landmines. It's a cute idea, but it just didn't seem to fit along with the bowling ball, along with the guy getting hit with a newspaper and it's smoking on his chest and it's ripped up. I don't remember seeing that kind of like ridiculousness. Am I wrong? Like, is there a lot of like impossible things that happen in the show in the seasons?
Yeah, I think so. I think there are some episodes that are more grounded, but there are definitely some like outrageous things that occur from time to time.
I guess I don't remember them very well, but this one, yeah, just seems there's a lot of outrageous stuff.
So what are you getting at?
I don't know. I mean, you guys have made me feel better about it because I do like Frank. I really do. I like his storyline. But that was another thing. It's like they kind of went off topic from. It wasn't just about New Year's resolutions. It became about Pete making money, and then there's just a lot of stuff going on. It didn't seem like very linear to me. But I don't know. I'll say a 3. I'll stop talking.
Okay. I think that's fair. Sounds fair.
I'd watch it again.
Do you think this is your lowest episode of Pete and Pete?
I'd have to rewatch it, but I haven't watched it in a while. Yeah. Okay. But it's probably down there. It jumps around a lot.
It does. I think that's absolutely fair. As I was watching this, my biggest gripe was the writing did feel a little sporadic. I much preferred the crossing guard New Year's thread lines over the jetpack stuff, but I still think there's just like so many great little moments to pull from this episode. I think it's definitely better than like a handful of episodes from season 3. So right. I don't know. I found myself kind of entranced by it, maybe not loving it, but entranced. So I gave this a 3.9. Just because I think even at its worst, Pete and Pete, and this is not the worst, but even at its worst, Pete and Pete is like so much better than everything else we talk about. That like
everything.
That it just feels like, maybe it's like Andrew said, it's not in that upper tier. It can't be a 4 or 4.5 or a 5, but it's got a handful of moments that are like laugh out loud funny, and it flew by for me. I mean, I didn't really feel the runtime, so 3.9, just shy of a 4.
Nice. Yeah. Again, compared to Turkey Fest, it was like it just felt very nice to get into this episode.
Absolutely.
And saying that this is like so much better than everything else isn't even to say that everything else is not good.
Correct.
It's just like this is like a transcendent show.
Yes. Yep. Do you guys want to name the episode?
Oh yeah. Yeah, really tough for me. I finally decided to go with last year's Pete.
Last year's Pete.
Okay.
Just because it's like, I feel like it maybe feels like the episode, like he's so concerned with who he was this whole last year and like what he was doing.
Right.
And he's kind of discarding it for the new year.
Yeah. I think that's good. All right, Melissa, what did you come up with?
New Year, same resolutions.
Like it.
Yeah.
New Year, same resolutions. Yeah. Very good.
Very good.
We can all relate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I went with turning over a new Pete.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good. Go back around. What are they?
Last year's Pete.
New Year, same resolutions.
And turning over a new Pete. We'll post those on Instagram, and you guys can vote. Our last winner for Nick's Thanksgiving Fest went to Kevin with a Walmart brand Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Yeah. And before we wrap up here, we have just a couple letters to read. We have a whole bunch of letters, but we're just going to read a couple here. The first one here is from Allison. She said, "Hey, Andrew and Joey. I just recently found the podcast and I love it. I've listened to a lot of the older episodes and I discovered a show that I missed when it aired. 15. I've watched every episode and enjoyed every bit of it. Thank you for introducing me to it. Please do more 15 related episodes. Keep up the great work, guys. Allison."
Really nice.
Yes.
And yeah, I hope to talk more 15.
Yeah, I love that. I don't think we will have any real long-lasting legacy, except maybe our insistence that 15 belongs in the pantheon of shows people should be talking about.
Yeah. This one comes from our longtime listener, Quincy. He says, "Hey, BOC OGs. First, R.I.P. Coolio and R.I.P. Jason David Frank. Yeah, this podcast has been helping me get through the days. I've been doing a deep dive into Pete and Pete episodes while listening to the podcast episodes. As I've been watching the show, I'm always getting caught rewinding Big Pete's opening and closing monologues. They're so poetic. Similar to Doug, the beginning of the show pulls you into the character's environment and mind state in that episode. Doug and Big Pete both give you their personal take on the dilemma that they're facing or feeling, which gives the show emotional weight, like episodes like Doug's Lucky Hat or Hard Days Pete. Probably my favorite episode of Pete and Pete, he says. Keep up the good work, Quincy."
Oh, thanks,
really
Quincy.
Nice to hear from Quincy.
Yeah.
And he's right on about the Big Pete's monologues, too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So good. Speaking of Pete and Pete and poetry, also Quincy's a poet, and I know some of his books are available on Amazon if you search Quincy Cannon. So
yeah,
consider that.
Yeah, he's pretty prolific.
Yeah.
Awesome. We got one more here from Jennifer. It says, hi Joey and Andrew. I just finished listening to the Are You Afraid of the Dark favorite scenes episode, and wow, it's awesome. Definitely topped my Halloween. I currently am revisiting some episodes that I haven't watched in years while eating candy corn. The Tale of Apartment 214 is one that I don't watch because it creeps me out so much, but in honor of the holiday, I did watch it, and yes, Madeline still scares me. Anyway, here's what I've come up with for my favorite 7 scenes. Number 7, the reveal of the kids being dead from Old Man Corcoran.
Yes.
6, the basement scene from Nightly Neighbors.
Yeah.
5, the pinball coming down the escalator from the Pinball Wizard.
that was very close to mine.
Oh yeah, that was big time for Are You Afraid of the Dark.
Yeah.
Josh Home Alone and Laughing in the Dark. Number 3, Nosferatu coming out of the screen in Midnight Madness.
Oh,
Yep. 2, the Help Me scene from Lonely Ghost.
Sure.
Yep. Probably the scariest as a kid for me.
Yeah.
And number 1, the reveal of Dee Dee being Judy the prom queen from The Tale of the Prom Queen. That was I watched that episode for when we did those lists, and that is a great episode. That was another one I had just trouble picking which scene.
Sure.
But it has like a lot in common to me with like Dream Girl. It feels like a little more teenage, a little more mature.
Yes. Yeah, I really like that one. We haven't talked much about it, but
yeah. She says, thanks for the spooky Podtober and for all the entertainment, Jen.
Really nice, Jen.
Yeah.
So glad that she liked the episode too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really fun one.
Oh, that was all Vaughn. I mean, that wasn't us.
Yeah. Just a little bit of other Nickelodeon related things going on.
Sure.
Did you catch the SNL Keenan and Kel skit last week?
no.
I have something to admit. A couple people have sent it to me, and I've not watched it yet. Not because I'm resisting it. It just like I guess it keeps slipping my mind. It's good.
Yeah. Yes. I thought it was very good.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they kind of brought back Kel at the Emmys?
I don't know.
Is Kel in the sketch?
Yeah, he's in it.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah, that was cool. It makes me like wish there's a Keenan and Kel show where they're adults and like their kids are, and like their families are really normal, but they're still doing like crazy stuff all the time.
Really hard to believe that that's not a show. But
Pitch it.
Vincenzo, I think, sent us something about them perhaps making another Good Burger movie.
Oh, that would actually be really cool, I think.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, I will check that out immediately after recording. All right. Well, the year is about to wrap up here for the podcast for all humans around the world. Andrew, how are we ending the year?
Well, as usual, it's our year in review 2022.
Yeah.
Love that.
Oh, I'm always excited, but they're very hard to do because I think, as we've talked about, I think we probably consume less new stuff than we ever have.
Sure.
Have you seen some movies or TV shows or listened to some music this year, Andrew?
I think I've seen and heard enough to mostly fill out my...
Okay. Well, I'm excited to find out what Addams Family video game you picked for this year.
Sure.
In the meantime, if you want to get a hold of us, we're on Twitter at BOC Podcasts, Instagram at Orange Couch Podcasts. You can email us, as all those fine folks did, at orangecouchpodcasts@gmail.com. And you can hear us on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Leave a rating or review. That's really helpful. And Melissa, thanks so much for spending some time in Wellsville with us.
Oh, thank you. That was fun. Always fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I was going to try one of the insults, but I forgot. And then I was going to say crank, and then I forgot the end, and then I thought it's going to come out kind of vulgar. So then I just didn't say anything. I was just polite.
Well, this explanation was worth it.
Yeah.
Crank yankers.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we hope we'll see all you pipsqueaks next episode.
WART Ward Radio, Wellsville.
Uh-oh, hold on, my mic fell. Sorry. I'm on a real downturn here. I haven't won since Dalmaker.
I mean, that's not that long ago.
2.5 months? I'm dying here.